Fire signs, it is finally time for our video for September. I don't know about you, but I have been really looking forward to doing this one just because the energy has been amazing with the other videos that I've recorded. And of course, patience has not always been a virtue of mine. I've had on this journey to really work on that. But I just have really been looking forward to doing the fire signs video because I just feel like I know it's Virgo season in September, but I feel like when I think of fall equinox, for some reason, I'm just thinking about maybe it's just because it's like bonfire season and the colors of autumn remind me of Queen of Wands energy, fall equinox. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm sensing some big things coming for us. Well, everybody really, but for whatever reason, it's coming through strong. Also, the other readings that I recorded for this month, I didn't really have any crystals that were jumping out at me, and I had some of these off to the side, and I went to put them away, and the pink tourmaline was like, oh no, don't put me away. I am going to stay out for this reading. So, pink tourmaline and black tourmaline both wanted to be here, and it's odd because I didn't put all my typical bangles on. I wanted to wear my warrior cuff today, but the I have a mixed tourmaline bracelet that I got at Cocapelli in Dayton just couple weeks ago, and it was like, yeah. So there's a lot of pink and black going on. We'll see what that's about. So keep in mind, I know I say this a lot, but this is a general reading, so take what resonates, toss the rest. I'm going to use the Star Tarot to start with. That was the one I was drawn to do for us. All right, Angel, Spirit Guides, Ascended Masters, please use me as a clear channel. Fire signs, and I'm getting really hot right now. I don't know what is going on. This is crazy because it's not hot out today. There's a lot of energy flowing through me today. All right, fire signs. Okay, yeah, that's definitely one. All right. Okay, well, there's some passion. That might be why. There we are. Queen of Wands. What did I just say, you guys? You can't make this shit up. I just said Queen of Wands. I was picking up on that. Oh my gosh. And some extra cards because there's a lot. I had a feeling the tower was going to come. Well, it's on the bottom of the deck, but okay. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so what I'm getting is there is somebody, there's like a cycle that keeps going around and round. And it's because you've got, if you're a female watching, the Queen of Wands represents us as the fire sign. And this is in the past couple of weeks too. So I'm picking up heavily because we've got the Lion here, that in Leo season, you've maybe had somebody come forward, maybe somebody from your past. But I feel like there's this cycle. And the reason I'm saying past is because it's like this, they keep coming back and haunting you because we've got death here. And I feel like, so what I'm really getting is like you're starting to, every time you start to move on from them, and rise above the ashes. It's like they come back in, and they keep coming back in, um, with this passionate, I'm going to change, I'm different this time. But notice this is a knight, not a king. Knights don't stay, they're transitory. They aren't typically stable. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles, sometimes maybe they're working towards, something more solid and becoming a king. But Knight of Wands is very passionate, very in and out, hot, cold, ghosting energy, is what I'm getting. And it's something that keeps happening because you allow it and you aren't closing it out. You aren't letting it die, I guess is why the death is there. You are becoming a queen and stepping into your power, and you're struggling with making a decision, Justice, right now about what to do, about to cut this person off, which way to go. And it's clear because you're wanting to make a decision. You're wanting Two of Pentacles to choose something that's like a solid path. And I think you're struggling with that right now because you've got Five of Wands in here as well, which is a card about conflict. And you're conflicted about doing that. But, the action card forward is the Page of Swords, Prince of Swords in this deck. And for me, a lot of times, and I think definitely in this context that I'm picking up on, it's about cutting off communication, cutting it off. And so once you cut this off and move on, right, you've got to move on, then this conflict, this inner conflict will go away. It will die. The death will be able to happen. But you've got to make that commitment. You've got to make that commitment to yourself, even without knowing the outcome. I think some of this is you're maybe hanging on to something because you're afraid something else isn't going to come in, something else isn't going to transpire, that you're not going to find someone else. So you just keep allowing this thing to keep cycling around because you don't have another option right now, or your other option is not available, because the lovers obviously can be that this is a spiritual union, but it also can mean that there's like a kind of a three-party situation. So, but look at what this is doing, right? I mean, you have to look at your future. I mean, you're underwater right now. This person I'm getting is dragging you down. They're toxic. And the same cycles keep repeating. And so once you make that decision to cut them out and free yourself, I mean, look at what you're going towards. I know, you might not be able to see this. Like the surface is, you're swimming to the surface, right? And you want to get away from the darkness, but you don't know what's above the water. You just know you need to get above the water. But look what's waiting. You just have to trust and have the strength to move on from something isn't in your greatest good, even without knowing what else, what's behind the door, right? You're going to close this door. You don't know which path or what's going to happen. You just have to trust that if this isn't working, it's time to find balance. I'm getting the situation's not balanced. You have to work on balancing yourself and the conflict within yourself. And part of the thing that, what's going to help do that is to cut this person off once and for all. Because what I'm seeing too is that you are believing, you're feeling that, what you're seeking, this Two of Cups, this beautiful divine partnership, I think you're believing that it's an illusion, that it's a dream. Seven of Cups, you're feeling like it's not real, like you can't really have this, right? You're thinking, well, it's just not real, and doubting that. And so that's why you keep just allowing this other cycle, because it's like, well, if I'm not going to be with who I want to be with, or if I'm not going to be, in this committed relationship, I can just still have fun with this person. And I think the message I'm clearly getting is, and this actually, look at this, look how beautiful this is. This is like cutting out all this toxic stuff finding balance within yourself, trusting what's coming. Look, she's with a dolphin here, and not all these cards you guys can see. Yeah, not all the cups cards have dolphins because the seven of cups doesn't. She's swimming with this dolphin who's trying to lead her to the light. It's like, get away from these cups back here. They're not, you gotta move on from this. How many times is this person gonna come in? This knight is gonna offer you a cup and then knock it over when he's galloping away, coming in and out of your life. Because look what you can have. It's saying, this is saying that you have to trust that this is possible. They're trying to, your guides, I think you're probably getting signs, number signs, things like that. They're trying to lead you to this because it is possible. It is possible. And what I'm getting is when you do the work on you, and it might take a long time. Trust me, I've been basically, I have not been in a relationship in basically 3 years. And I haven't dated anybody really. I haven't dated anybody in 2 years. So it's not easy. There are times that you can be brought to your knees, facing the shadows, facing your pain, facing those wounds, but it's essential if you are seeking this, the Two of Cups and the ultimate, the spiritual union as well. That's something that's, a deeper form of, a soul bond. You have to do the inner work. When you do the inner work, things are going to shift rapidly. Okay. When I say rapidly, trust me, 2 years is not rapid, right? But you will notice shifts happening quickly. And it may be, and it might not necessarily mean that you're with this person, but you notice shifts within you. And you start getting communication. I'm getting that this communication too could be from spirit, from the divine, making things happen for you, leading you on your path. And each time that happens, the more you open up, cut out the toxic stuff, cut out the past, focus on you and connect to God, that doors are just going to start opening, right? And I'm hearing, manifesting, just, you're going to see, you're going to be shown the path. You're going to be shown what you need to do when you're in flow mode, so to speak, and surrender. And this is also, I'm getting to about healing your heart. There's some just components within your heart that you need to heal. And it's, maybe, I think the Tower's here because it is saying, it's necessary to, well, we already said it was necessary to close this out. I'm clearly seeing that cut them off, but it's not easy. A Tower is a life altering shakeup. But in my mind, it's necessary to get to this point. Where is this one? Where's that card I was just looking at? Oh, it ties into this because to me, it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Look at this. Change isn't easy. And, I've been there myself with karmic cycles, karmic partners. And I was in this situation for a while, for about a year, where I thought, well, I know I'm a twin flame. I'm on this path, and but they're not ready. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna have fun with my ex and do things and that if you're wondering why the person you want to be with is not available for you and not committing to you because you're out with someone else. And I know it's counterintuitive, right? That's what this whole journey is about, breaking 3D paradigms. But like, it became pretty apparent, like, if I'm energetically, even though my love for that person, my desire, my love, my soul was attached to that person, if I'm energetically giving time, giving my body, giving anything to someone else, that's not putting out there that I'm ready for this bond and for this person to come in. That's why the females, on this path, um, and we could say it's not fair or whatever because the masculines can go out and do whatever they want, no, I mean, they're just behind, so to speak. And it's not putting anybody down. It's just that's the way this process works. The female awakens first. The female is the manifesting energy. The female has to break these cycles. And as she starts to break these cycles and cut these toxic situations out, the masculine energetically, alchemically does that. They mirror each other. So if you're wanting someone else, you can't be, and I'm not saying, okay, I don't want this to come off the wrong way. I'm not saying that you should put your life on hold and sit around and wait for somebody to come back to you. That's not at all healthy. It's not a good thing. It's just if you think that you are in this, I'm getting that there is some of you watching that may have a divine partner, a sacred soul bond connection developing, and you might be on this path. There are things you have to do energetically. You have to clear your energy. You have to go within. You have to become strong and whole within yourself. And that means letting go of external factors, external, sexual partners, date, all that kind of stuff. You have to learn to be self-sufficient and be happy that way and find joy within yourself. Now, that being said, as you start to do that, Eight of Wands, things are gonna, you're gonna start magnetizing and drawing things to you. So you may find that what you thought you wanted, this other person maybe was a catalyst for you to have the strength to close out these other cycles and to start working on yourself, which is a beautiful thing because the more you work on yourself, you go within, you connect to God, you focus on the future, not the past. You're gonna draw in and attract something at your level of vibration. So the question is, do you want to be down here? Is this what you want to be in, or do you want this? And so the key is, and as hard as it is, trust me, I know, you can't attach this to a specific person. That person can be your inspiration. That person can, will probably trigger you and give you tower moments. Oh boy, the tower moments. But when you start recognizing the trigger, what it is, okay, why is this hurting me so bad? Oh, because I have an abandonment or rejection wound from childhood or from when I was bullied, or I didn't feel, desirable. So the fact that they're not, recognizing my appearance or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, that's showing me like they didn't, it's not even intentional, but you start, yes, that person is going to be the person that's sort of your catalyst. Doesn't necessarily mean you end up with them. But what you do know is you can't go back. That old way of living, that old, if you're on this journey and you want to get here, you cannot stay down here. And that means walking away, closing that door, even when this one hasn't opened yet. And trust me, I know I had to do it. Things were amazing in that time that I was in my karmic relationship. Amazing. It was better than it had, and it was very, very hard to walk away from that. Very hard. And part of it was the fact that it's like, well, this is really, really good. And if he never, comes around, then this is kind of I have this as a backup. And I really did, love that person too. I mean, I did, not anyway, the way that I had the soul bond, with my twin, but I just thought, well, it was just fear holding me back. And finally, I had to be strong enough and just know, because again, it was like the guide was showing me, you want this, you don't know how it's going to come out. You don't know what's at play. You don't know how you're going to get there, but we have to draw you up from the past. You have to close out the past. And it was just this strong knowing. And man, had I known, had I known that it was going to be 2 years and counting, like that I was going to have, facing, I don't know that I would have the strength. But that's the thing. Each time is just speeding up. And like the last year, it's not the codependency, right? You have to let go of the codependent energy and get into surrender and get to the point truly where you have joy in your life in other aspects without a relationship. But it's like the irony is, I walk away from my karmic situation, and my twin then started getting back with his ex, or at least once, and maybe there were other, I think there might have been at least another one. And it's like, man, but that really deeply forced me to go dig and get all that gunk out and shadows, and that was essentially, it was so necessary. And I realized looking back too, I always had a backup. Okay, so backup, so to speak, because I didn't fully believe that he was ever going to come forward um and commit. And it's like, well, why would he? Because I wasn't fully committing either. And I know it sounds crazy and counterintuitive. Why would you commit to somebody who's not in your life? Well, that's what you have to do as part of this journey. It's about committing to yourself. And I'm not, I wasn't committing to myself if I was still getting tempted to go back to toxic cycles. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was always kind of like, well, I'll just go out and have fun, or I'm gonna go do this, and because it's like, no, I mean, I wasn't sticking the course. I was flaky, hot and cold. I was in the Knight of Wands energy. So also think about that, as you go along, is in this dynamic that you have, because I feel like you maybe do have, if this is resonating, someone else that you're striving to be with and they're just not available right now. But where are they mirroring you? Again, if you're not available either, because you've got this toxic cycle you need to close out. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're going to cut them out and voila, this person's going to show up on your doorstep. That doesn't mean that at all. But it means that, again, and I know I'm probably repeating myself, you have to make a commitment to you and to working on your wholeness. And when you do that, that's when you're going to start attracting things in and a new beginning. Yeah, I was going to show you guys that. Yeah. So this is necessary to start fresh, right? And I think that's what all of you want. If you had the choice between, again, staying down here or getting up here, it's a no-brainer what you would choose. You just don't think this is possible for you. And so you keep letting this just drag you down. And if you stay in the cycle, this is not going to be possible, right? But you have to get in the mindset that it is. And again, maybe not with that specific person, but someone who's not this in and out toxic, someone else will come along if you work on you. And I mean, gosh, we got the Lovers, we got 4 major arcana. So let's see what other cards. Let's see what shadows that you might need to work on. Twin flame shadows. Oh yeah, that does not surprise me. Nope. Okay. So unlovable. This definitely some inner child wounds, not feeling worthy of true beautiful love. So you stay with what's familiar, and in the sake of thinking, well, this person loves me because they keep coming back. Just because they keep coming back, just because you share a path, it doesn't mean that it's healthy. It doesn't mean that it's real love. You've got to sit down and think about, behavior and things that maybe you're accepting and why that is. Cold, this is maybe that you're feeling left out in the cold from this other person that you're wanting to be with, and the fact that they're not available to you makes you feel unlovable, because maybe they're not reciprocating at this time, and that's why you're just allowing this person, this toxic person, to stick around because you just don't feel worthy. So I think you need to work on self-esteem, worthiness, and maybe in from the childhood, like where that came from. Where did that come from? What situations in your childhood, um, maybe did that stem from? I'm thinking like a parent maybe was not around or not available, or there was maybe some toxic energy there, and so you just kept trying to get their approval and thinking this time it would be different, and maybe that cycle is repeating itself here. Let's get a message. Let's see. There's a lot of cards that I'm wanting to get messages from here. Cosmic. I can't remember what this is called. The cosmic cards. Cosmic Oracle, something like that. Let's see messages we have for fire signs in this deck. Yeah. Yep. Golden Crown. So this is about connecting to the higher realms, going within, connecting to the higher realms will bring you a higher level. Once you heal yourself and start to raise your vibration, that's going to attract in this. You've got to work on your shadow self, though. You've got to face your shadows, which again just came out. Unlovable, cold. Those things need to be faced. Let's see. Actually, I feel like I'm feeling called to pull another shadow. Let's see what we got here. Oops. Shocking. So I think this is more I'm thinking of this as a shadow. Something traumatic might have happened to you. Something traumatic could have happened, and that's what made you feel unlovable. And it's something I'm kind of feeling like maybe very hard to face, and that possibly counseling might be something that you want to explore, because I feel like maybe it's like no one knows about it. Maybe it's even deeply buried in your subconscious as well. Yeah, it could just, yeah, something that you really need to work on, and it's something that maybe you've not wanted to face, which is why you just keep allowing this cycle to happen, because again, it's, I think deep down, as a part of your healing and catapulting forward on your journey, that you're going to have to heal whatever this is, face it, and whatever this is, and that it's not going to be easy. So I kind of hope that doesn't resonate with anybody, because it was kind of a heavy message. All right, we're going to do the angel therapy. Emotional sensitivity and parents. So yeah, I was just saying there was something maybe with a parent, some sort of a toxic cycle that caused you to be very sensitive, emotionally sensitive, defensive at times maybe, and kind of in a shell. And that's why you're also afraid of pursuing something new, because you would have to be raw and open yourself up in ways maybe that you haven't before. And with this, that's why it feels safe to stay in the cycle with this other person, because you know what to expect, right? You know what to expect each time this starts up again, and how you feel like you can be yourself in certain ways with them because they know you. But in the truth, you're maybe not really honoring yourself. Because if you were honoring yourself, you either would have already cut this out by now, or they would stick around and you guys, would be having a healthy relationship, right? So you need to stand up for you and pursue what makes your soul happy. Okay, that's what I'm getting. But and it's facing these emotions, facing these shadows, and it does, stem in some way from parents, from a relationship with one or both parents. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. So again, I think there is some pain from childhood that maybe needs to be faced. All right, let's see from the wisdom of the oracle what we've got here. Close this out. Actually, I got one more. Higher power. Higher power and chop wood. So yeah, higher power. I mean, you guys, we can't make this up. You can't. I mean, look, it's a very, I don't know if you can see, it's a very etheric image, but it's a woman in the clouds with her head exploding in white light, the key, to the higher realms. Look at that. I mean, seriously, guys, can't make this shit up. Couldn't if I even tried. Could not duplicate that again. This is about going within, connecting to the divine, healing yourself. And when you do that, when you you're going to raise your vibration, you're going to bring in higher vibrational, because your vibration is raising, you're going to bring in higher vibrational connections, soul connections, beautiful things. But you've got to chop wood. Chop wood, cut that shit out. Prince of Swords, you've got to clean house, cut out the toxic things that are no longer serving you, because all they're going to do is drag you down. You've got to go higher. And it's time to make a decision. Justice, balance, find balance, and cut these things out, which I know is hard. I know it's hard. But let's get one more thing. Let's see what crystal you might help you. Kyanite and azurite. Oh my gosh, no wonder. Okay, azurite I'm not as familiar with. I probably have it. I don't even. Deep emotional healing. Your heart is ready to heal from past experiences, and you are willing to devote time and energy towards therapeutic care. So, azurite. But again, the message on here is even more profound. Deep emotional healing, emotional sensitivity. Something, from your past needs to be healed so that you can let go and move forward. And I've just got this like image that's like a really heavy, like just baggage, like energetic baggage that's weighing you out. And so that doesn't surprise me that kyanite's here, because it's a major chakra clearing stone. You might, I know Kokopelli, I'm sure, has kyanite. If you live locally, taking care of yourself is essential right now. Make time for self-care. Rest when you need to, but I'm getting, clear your energy. Go to YouTube and look at, they have meditation music tied to specific chakras. They have like all chakras. There's chakra clearing by Doreen Virtue that is on the YouTube as well. I've shared the link on my page several times. So I think that's essential, that you clear not only maybe even your space too, but clear out anything, people, but also your energy. Cleanse yourself. Get some sage. And surround yourself with white light, because I just feel like there's just a lot of baggage holding you back right now. But you have the guides, you have the desire to move forward. You just have to find that strength and cut this past off, is what I'm getting strongly. So hang in there, fire signs. I think it's going to be a very, very powerful month. I think there's going to be a lot of shifts for you in September. And yeah, I will be here, I'm sure, posting videos and energy updates. And I always love to hear about your guys' journey. So please comment if you don't mind sharing, publicly. I love to see comments. Please feel free to share my videos. The more subscribes and likes and comments and things that I get, if my channel were to grow, I think there are a lot more things I can start to offer. I think I can have a community on YouTube. I can start doing different things. So that would be really helpful. Thanks, everybody. Have a great month.